All right, y'all, welcome back to the Trio Scratch League. This is week 7. Let's get it. This week, our matchup is Bruce. Now, Bruce, 235, lefty average, a great bowler around this bowling alley. I've seen him around, and when him moving up to my spot to play against me, I took it as a big challenge. So both of my last shots here were both pulled and high going into the pocket, but I was able to clean up both spares. And for some reason, on the third shot, I do the exact same thing. Even with the ball change, I do the exact same thing, leave the exact same pin for the third time in a row. So I happened to get kind of lucky with Bruce not having the greatest start. And so me picking up all 3 of these spares wasn't too bad. And for some reason, with my big tournament coming up this weekend in Reno, this is a horrible start, and I was not liking this. I was nowhere near the pocket in either one of my shots, and me picking up these spares were good, but it was very annoying. With my average being 211 at this point in our trio season, I was really needed to bounce back, and this strike helped me do that immensely. And here it is with another one, just kicking out the 10. Sometimes you're on and sometimes you're off, and I got really lucky here with a bad shot here, but it was able to strike with the Brooklyn. And if you're a bowler, you know, once you come off of Brooklyn, your next shot has to be laced just to make you feel a little bit better, which this shot definitely was. And for some reason down here at Country Club Lanes in Sacramento, I leave a lot of 7 pins. And I have been very consistent on picking up my single pin spares, and I'm really proud of that. This next shot here was a little rough, leaving this big split I needed to convert. And you can't tell, and there is a sleeper in the back. So me just going for the pin count, letting it be what it is. So we end that first game with a 211. Not too bad, my average, so it is what it is. And here is another goddamn 7 pin. I don't know what it is, but we cleaned it up easily, and it's time to move on. In our first game, we barely got the dub for our point with the 211. So really here, I knew Bruce was going to bounce back, and I needed to do the same. And this shot did not help me. You see, I leave a 9 pin there with a horrible pocket shot, but I pick it up. Gotta move on. Now this shot here was a great shot, and you can see my reaction after. It's like, why can't I been doing that in the first place? On this game, me and Bruce kind of had the same start, but on this ball, I end up leaving a 7 pin, and he strikes. So this one was really important. So I kind of really started to feel the pressure from Bruce here, and it made my next shot so important. I had to put it down in a good spot, and I had to lace the pocket, which I did. Now, after his double, Bruce went 9 count spare, so it left me a little bit of an opening, and I needed this double. And once again, Bruce goes 9 count spare, so me picking up another here is just big. And to put even more pressure down, a 4-bagger was a way to go. Now, this shot in the 9th was great, helped me keep up the team point, helped me keep things flowing for the squad. This is where I run into issues where my 10th frame, especially coming off of 4 or 5 baggers, I throw a bad shot in the 10th frame and leaving the baby split. As you can see, Bruce left another 7 pin. He was not able to capitalize punching out in the 10th, and I was able to pick up the baby split, leading into my last shot in the 10th and in game 2, finishing off with a 237. And once again, shout out to my opponent, Bruce. Great bowler around here, man. I see him all the time. Now, as I start off with the strike, which is a good start, but we had a bad match here. Going up against another great bowler here who's actually won the Jimmy Jean last time we had it here, Nick. Now, I do start with a double thinking I'm hot shit versus Nick. And this next shot here was pretty good too, but I left the 10 pin. And as you can already see, Nick is on a 3-bagger to start this game, and I missed the 10 pin. So this just happened to be one of those games, really one of these next 2 games where I just had a bad showing for some reason. It just unfortunate things happen. You see, I got a 9 pin there. Ball kept going high later in this, so you're gonna see. But some days you're gonna have a bad day, or even some days somebody's just gonna have a better day than you, and it kind of is what it is. Same thing happened to our team. Their team was on a high, and we just could not match it today, and it is what it is. I pick up another spare here, but that's another big thing I've been leaving this whole week was just a lot of single pin spares. And here is yet another one. Even though I thought I had a pretty good shot, it was a tad light. I almost missed a single pair here, and you see it goes flying towards where the tent would be. At this point, with another lace shot, this is where I was starting to lose some confidence in my Zero Mercy at this point. Normally in past weeks, I don't lose this much confidence in this ball at this moment, but I needed the pins today. After I picked up that 10 pin, it leads to this next ball, which is a strike. Once I started to feel comfortable, once I was like, okay, cool, got a nice strike there after the 10 pin. The last few shots have been great. Here comes another good shot. Bam, 10 pin. The unfortunate part of this is that was my 9th frame. That was really a frame that I needed to piece some pins together and hopefully have a chance for my point. So my first shot in the 10th was looking for something big to kind of keep everything close for the total, and I leave this split. I go for pin count, and unfortunately Nick had a great 10th, and my first game was a 179. Now that was one of my lowest showings of this whole league, so I was ready to bounce back. Now I did make a ball change into my Black Widow Mania, and you see I had a beautiful shot there. I was trying to find a way to get rid of these 10 pins, and lo and behold, I leave another one. I just want to take a quick shout out to my 10 pin shooting. It has been immaculate. Even though I did miss one this set, it's been immaculate. I should have took this bad shot as a sign to come to really move left, because that one went crazy Brooklyn, but I still got the strike. And yet again on this lane 20, another pocket shot, another 10 pin. And I just happen to be losing more faith, and all the faith in not leaving a 10 pin. And just like my last shot on this pair, this shot was high and leaving me this split. And then thinking, okay, let me just get this 3, I chop. And this is where sometimes bowling can just be so disheartening, because your opponents are lacing them and you're just leaving crazy stuff like this. And I try to pick it up to kind of give myself any hope. Nope. And so I vividly remember making a move here and still going high in the pocket, leaving this split. So I had a lot of high hopes coming into these last 2 games, and unfortunately it just did not work out for me in that favor. But if you've watched my last videos, I've been on a bowling tear, so you have to come down at some point. And I'm okay with that. I just got to make better adjustments, move on. I'll see them next week. After picking up this spare, I just wanted to leave this bowling alley today with some good shots on my belt in these last 2 games, which I get one here, kinda, a little bit. And this is where all the luck went, because my next shot, which happens to be my first ball in the 10, got a little mixer there. And then I was able to piece that up with a nice shot here. And then I end exactly the way I started. So this game 3 ends me out with a 169. Horrible. I think it's the worst game I've ever bowled in this bowling alley, but we'll see them next week.
Everyday hustle like William, I'm charging the chicken just for the verse, yeah. I get in that kitchen, I cook, go to work, I go